It is the final day of minicamp for the New England Patriots. They had 3 days of practices, and after this, we got 6 weeks, 7 weeks of absolutely nothing. So take it in, ladies and gentlemen. This is the last time you're going to see your Patriots on the field, and we got takeaways. But before we go and do that, I want to hear from you. They had an amazing comeback yesterday. Amazing comeback. The Knicks, 29 points. But the Patriots, 28-3. Let me know down in the comments section. What is the better comeback? Was it the Patriots or was it the Knicks? Welcome into Patriots Today by Chat Sports, presented by PrizePicks. I am your host, Brett Alper. And yes, final day of mini camp. And the Patriots, they dedicated this kind of to just red zone. Yesterday, it was a little walkthrough, so they really didn't practice. We didn't have much takeaways, just a little bit. But today, they got pretty much as you could possibly do. Still can't put the pads on yet, but we got to see them in action. So let's get into the takeaways right away. And I think the first thing we need to talk about is just the Mike Vrabel presser. He went to the media earlier this morning, and he spoke about multiple topics of discussion. And the first one is Christian Gonzalez. Now, we know that Gonzo has been participating, but not participating, quote-unquote, holding in, as you can see right here. He didn't participate in the 11-on-11 drills. That's the full team drills where you're doing football activity. He said they're on the same page. Obviously, he's waiting for the contract, and he's not getting it. So, as of now. So right now, he's kind of holding in. He's still participating. He's still with the team, which is a really, really good thing. But you just have to get that contract done at some point. I need to see him be on a long-term deal for the New England Patriots. And also another thing that Vrabel said. He said he's happy with the edge rusher group. And this is where I kind of disagree with him. He said that's a good group. I'm excited about adding Draymond Jones, the development of Elijah Ponder and Braden Swinson, and added Jesse Luketa and also some young guys. But if you look at the pass rush group right now, I mean, for one, Gabe Akis isn't showing up to anything. He had a procedure done. He hasn't signed his contract. You have Draymond Jones. You have Harold Landry, who is also dealing with some injuries. He's been limited in practice. He hasn't shown up. Well, he's shown up, but he hasn't been available to practice. He hasn't. And also Elijah Ponder. But you need to add another guy. You need to add one more edge to this group to add some depth. Because if someone goes down, there are not a lot of players on the bench right now that can step in and have the same type of production that you would have, let's say, Elijah Ponder or a Draymond Jones, Harold Landry. And there are multiple guys out there, or even possibly for a trade. So I think they should go out and get another edge rusher. The next takeaway, and we got to talk about the quarterbacks here. Drake Maye, I wouldn't say he was great, it was only red zone, but I would say he was decent in today's practice. 50% completion percentage, which isn't nothing to go crazy about. Byron Morton and Tommy DeVito went 5 for 11. Drake Maye, 10 for 20, but overall, solid day. I mean, he had some great throws, which I thought was pretty good, but this is where you're trying to get better. And what is the hardest place on the field to complete passes, to score touchdowns? It's the red zone. And we struggled in the red zone a lot last season. It felt like every single time you get down inside the 5, you get it down inside the 10, well, you're not scoring. And this is something that they like to focus on. And going 10 for 20, I think that's a lot better than what you see just on the stat sheet. 50% completion. No, that's a lot better than expected. But got a little scare. I mean, they ended practice early. And why? Well, because Braden Swinson collided with Drake Maye after Maye completed a pass to A.J. Brown. And everybody kind of hesitated and stopped and got a little bit scared. Both players on the ground momentarily. Maye appeared to be okay. Swinson seemed to try to explain himself on the aftermath, and he later apologized. But my first thought is, what are we doing? You are supposed to know. Do not touch the quarterback, especially when they're not in pads. Do not touch the quarterback. What are you thinking? Are you absolutely crazy? But everything bullet dodged. Everything's okay. This comes from Alex Barth. Said practice ended a little early, and he said Maye didn't check in with the trainers, now throwing extra after practice, so he looks okay. And that is a major bullet dodge, because imagine if we were talking about this and saying, hey, Drake Maye got hurt at OTAs. But no, he's all right. But Braden Swinson, relax, my guy. Relax. Everything is okay. Everything's fine. Don't touch the quarterback. We'll get to more takeaways in just a second, guys. But first, I got to tell you about our sponsor of today's show, and that is Prize Picks. You know, it's the best place to win cash while watching sports. We had some lineups this morning for some soccer and also some baseball that went up and won us some money out in the main chat sports bullpen. But that's not only it. We got playoff basketball. You know, Game 5 is going to be electric between San Antonio and New York. Big golf tournaments, baseball, like I said, and then you got motorsports every Sunday. Love sports, love making daily fantasy lineups. And you guys can follow me on the app to see all my lineups at The Real Alper. And we got a lineup, the season-long one that I keep showing you guys, and I think you should go ahead and make this one yourself. A.J. Brown, the more on reception yards. He looks good at minicamp. Drake Maye, more on the touchdowns. He's going to throw a lot. And then Travion Henderson, he's going to rush for a lot of yards, 699.5. Going to take the more on that one. You can make a lineup just like that one, guys. The app is super easy to use. Just pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. There's a new user offer. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That link is in the comments and description of today's video. That is code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Next takeaway. A.J. Brown is crazy. And I don't say this as like, oh, he's mentally insane. No, he is absolutely crazy and insane on the field, and he looks like the best wide receiver, and he looks like a rejuvenated type player, and he is going off every single practice. This comes from Mark Daniels. Had 2 touchdowns today in the red zone. His first was awesome, and there were pictures, one from Taylor Kyles, where people were in awe of just what they saw from A.J. Brown. Adjusted in the back left corner of the end zone, spun around, and hauled in a 5-yard touchdown. He ended practice with a touchdown on an out route. And I'll say this. The connection is super deadly already. They have made an emphasis to get A.J. Brown the football. And A.J. Brown is catching every single pass that is in sight to him from Drake Maye. And their anticipation throws. There was one throw that he threw before he even looked back, and A.J. Brown made the adjustment, made the catch. And A.J. Brown, he spoke just how good Drake Maye is as a quarterback. He said the talent speaks for itself. He can make any throw. But I think what's more impressive to me is that he knows what he's doing. To be that young, to understand the defense, to understand every little check, the hats, the blitz, all of those things, and so fast, he's very impressive. And so I really admire that. He knows what he's talking about. He demands everybody else to know as well, and he's a true leader. He's a true leader of men, and it's crazy to see a young age a true leader of men. And then Sophie Weller, she was also at Patriots Minicamp, and they asked, well, do you plan on meeting it throughout the offseason? And A.J. Brown said, yeah, that's the plan. We're going to work out during the summer. We're going to work out during that 6-week period, get the chemistry going. And I say this, and this is random speculation. I don't know anything. This is completely out of the ordinary. No sources. It feels like they already have. It feels like they were secretly working out because there's been a little times where you've seen from reporters saying, Drake Maye and Romeo Doubs haven't really been on the same page. They're still kind of getting used to each other. That's not the case with A.J. Brown. He is locked in, and they feel like they have been teammates for years. And then Pop Douglas said this the other day. He said, it feels like AJ's been here since the beginning of the offseason. Well, secretly, maybe he has. And I think this is going to be a top 5 duo in the NFL. And I will say this. Eagles fans are going to lose their minds if A.J. Brown becomes a captain for the New England Patriots this year. I want to know from you guys down in the comments section. Will they be a top 5 QB wide receiver duo in the NFL? You let me know down in the comments section. Give me a Y for yes or give me an N for no. And we're also selling T-shirts, ladies and gentlemen. Get your A.J. Brown T-shirts right this second. Chatsports.com/Brown. It's a beautiful design. He's wearing the one, always open. This is actually what he wrote, leaving the Eagles facility. He said, best to ever do it in this facility. Always open. Get your shirts today. Chatsports.com/Brown. We'll have that in the comments and description of today's video for you. Next takeaway. Caleb Lomu, 110% swing tackle. And what do I mean by that? Well, he is going to be the backup, possibly going to be the starter, but Caleb Lomu has played actually at almost every single position on the field except for center because Jared Wilson is going to be that center. We know that Elijah Vera-Tucker is kind of recovering from injury, so he's not going to be fully participating in practice just yet. You also have Morgan Moses that is missing. But this was a bit of a surprise today. This comes from Evan Lazar, who was at minicamp, and he said Caleb Lomu got some run at left guard today, with Elijah Vera-Tucker being limited in team, which I think is kind of crazy. Left guard? All right, well, maybe you should look about the left tackle playing a little bit left guard. Just saying. Just saying. But Lomu was also starting at right tackle again. He played some first-team reps at right tackle. I think he also got a couple reps at left tackle from what I saw. But he is all over the field. He is going to be that swing tackle, that backup. He is extremely versatile. And I think the Patriots have the plan in place that they can play Lomu anywhere on the field because he is that talented. He will be the backup tackle next to Moses. He will step in if he gets hurt or needs a break. And also, let's say if Will Campbell struggles, you could play him right in at left tackle. But I think Lomu is going to be a very, very good player for the New England Patriots and the future on the offensive line, wherever they put him on the field. And the last thing that I saw was kind of a little bit of defensive stars. And there's one player that I think is absolutely going off. And you saw this from Taylor Kyles, that there were a bunch of players that had PBUs. Now, I mentioned this again. This was in red zone play. Kevin Byard, Chad Muma, KJ Britt, Khalil Jacobs, Brandon Crossley had PBUs, and Kendall Vildor was also in the area on 2 incompletions. But I'll say this. I think Kevin Byard is going to be an absolute star for this team. I keep forgetting over and over that the Patriots have signed him, and he's our starting safety because I'm so worried about A.J. Brown. But he is an all-pro, and you can already see his presence known from the way he's playing on the field and just his leadership towards the young guys such as Craig Woodson. And he just helps this secondary so much. This secondary is going to be one of the best in the NFL because your safeties are Woodson, Byard, and then also Gonzo, Davis, and Marcus Jones. It is going to be awesome. It is going to be absolutely great. And overall, I think the offense is getting very, very comfortable. I remember last year going in, making these videos, talking about what happens at OTAs, what happens at minicamp. There were struggles. I don't know if you guys remember, but Drake May threw 4 interceptions in his first OTA practice. That is not the case this year. They feel way more comfortable getting that second year of the Josh McDaniels offense under his belt. You're bringing in these new playmakers. It just feels different. It feels like we are here. We have arrived, and the Patriots are going to be very, very good this season, and you could see it, just how comfortable and confident they are throughout these practices. The only problem is we got to wait 6 weeks until we get to see them on the field for training camp. And if you guys didn't know the dates, well, July 25th, 26th, and 27th, all those dates are right there. So that's the next time we'll see the Patriots on the field, and you know we got you covered for it. But I don't want to wait. I'm already ready. I'm ready for football season, man. Forget the summer. You can skip the pool. Get me some football. And if you're ready to, go down in the comments section. Spam your NEs down in the chat below because it's going to come up on us quick. I hope so. Blinken and I will be live here on the channel giving the watch parties. And that's why I subscribe to the channel, ladies and gentlemen, because we are covering the Pats every single day, making sure you guys know everything Pats. So hit that sub button right now. And as always, let's go Pats.